And thank you for joining. So good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us this evening. My name is Christina Byrne, and I'm the Regional Social Value Manager for Wates. And we're here tonight to just give you an overview about apprenticeships, and you'll hear from Jamie as well, who was an apprentice in the construction industry. So we're happy to take any questions as well. If we take them, happy to do it as we go along or at the end, whatever suits everyone. Okay, so obviously it's National Apprenticeship Week, and we've been out talking in schools, and we've been talking to our clients and young people about the benefits of apprenticeships. So tonight we're going to cover a little bit about us at Wates, who we are, the different roles in construction, what are apprenticeships. You'll hear from Jamie, as I said. We'll talk about the different apprenticeship levels, the rates of pay, and we'll also talk about how you can find out about apprenticeships, not just with us, but other construction companies and other employers as well who offer apprenticeships. And happy to take questions, as I said earlier as well. So a little bit about Waite. So we're one of the largest privately owned construction companies in the UK. We deal with residential development and property services. So obviously the school is in the Harrow area. We carry out repairs and maintenance in council properties owned by Harrow Council. I'm actually a resident of Harrow as well, and I work in this borough along with all different other contracts in the London region. So I oversee all the social value across the London area. So our role and Jamie's role is about making sure that contracts in areas like Harrow, Brent, Lambeth, all London boroughs, that we take on local people. It's all part of the contract. We also offer work experience. So if young people or any age want to gain some work experience, we will happily look and see if any of our contracts can take on students or older people to do work experience to help them with their CVs. We were founded in 1897, so we're 125 years old. In fact, this year we're 126 years old, which is, quite rare. We're a family-owned business, so the gentlemen in this on this slide are all Wates family members, and they're very active in the business and very much about working with communities. They do a lot of work with charities. They've got a separate company set up to give funding to charities. And again, in Harrow, they have sponsored projects for young people. They turn over about 1.6 billion pounds. That was in 2021. We haven't had the figures for 2022 yet. So that's an annual turnover. We also build like schools, prisons, hospitals, along with properties as well. And we go into like large sort of department stores like Marks and Spencer's, and we carry out refit and refurbishment in those buildings. And we work with lots of large organizations, for example, like the HMRC and various organizations like that across the UK. We're very much about getting more women into construction as well. And because we're 125 years last year, group made a decision to look to employ 125 women by 2025. So we're on track to achieve that. And because there's only 14% of women overall in the construction industry, and obviously on this slide, it shows that there is a role for everyone here. So regardless of who you are, there's a role in construction. So sometimes you think about construction, you think about working on a building site. We've got lots of office roles, we've got facilities, developers, site management, and then you've got obviously the trade roles, electricians, plumbers, carpenters. We've also, I think we've got an apprenticeship coming up, I think, on data analyst. So you know, lots of different roles. So I think there really is a role for everyone in the construction industry. And I think for young people and parents, I think it's really important to look and see what these roles are all about, because you can develop lots of different skills, whether it's in construction or any other business as well. So really, really important business to be in. They're up and coming. They want to, you know, expand, innovate, and we need young people on board to support that. I'm now going to introduce my colleague Jamie Earl, and she'll give you a little talk about her role here at Wates and her career to date.
Thank you, Christina. So yeah, my name's Jamie L, and I'm a social value manager at Wates, but I actually started off as an apprentice 12 years ago. So I did a level 2 business admin apprenticeship. So that was quite a long time ago, but it was when I was 16 and left school. I wasn't too sure what I wanted to do. As you know, at 16, you're not really sure. So I got a letter through from my local housing association about a contractor doing apprenticeships. So I took that forward and I applied and I got it, thankfully. And it just has been a great experience ever since, and it really has been like the golden ticket to my career. It's just such a good starting place for young people or anyone any age to get into. You know, it's really beneficial because obviously you can work, you can learn at the same time, and you can get paid, which I just think is a really good benefit, because I think work experience is really important. And I think today as well, a lot of times I think there's a bit of stigma still around apprenticeships, and that, you know, it's maybe because you haven't, you know, you can't go to college or uni, you don't think you're smart enough or anything like that. You know, and I think there's still that stigma around, but you know, that you can get the same qualifications that you can when you go to college and uni, but also working at the same time. So you get that key work experience, which I find, you know, a lot of time when people come out of college and uni, a lot of the workplaces that they go to are looking for that work experience, which obviously is impossible. So, you know, it gives you that, you know, bit of that, gives you your work experience, a qualification, which is obviously really important, and you're earning money. And you know, I just think it's really beneficial. And then when I finished my apprenticeship as well, I then wanted to explore different roles, and I found within the construction industry I've been really supported to look at different roles that I might like. So I'd always say that just because you're starting off on an apprenticeship that, you know, you may not want to do forever, it doesn't mean that that's your forever role. It'll mean that sometimes you can observe other people's roles, which I did, and I learned that I really like to deal with customer facing sort of scenarios. So I ended up becoming a resident liaison officer, where my company then paid for me to do another qualification in customer services. And so now I've been working at Wates for the last year, and now engaging with people to get them on apprenticeships and trying to really fly the flag for apprenticeships, because I think they're really beneficial to anyone. It really gives you that key. It gives you that, you know, you can gain hands-on experience while learning. And yeah, I just think they're really great. Do you want to do the next slide, Christina? So what are apprenticeships? So apprenticeships are for everyone. They're not just for 16 and 18-year-olds. I think a lot of people still think that they're for under 18s, but you can actually be any age. I don't think that, you know, you might want to go to college first and you might decide that it's not right for you, but you can always do an apprenticeship after if that's what you find is more going to be suited for you. So to be an apprentice, you can be a new or a current employee. Like I said earlier, I did another qualification while I was working, and you're always paid at least the minimum apprenticeship wage. You will be guaranteed a study day, normally 1 day per week, to carry out any the qualification that you need to do. You'll also be assigned a workplace buddy at Wates, so you won't be left on your own. I know especially if you're going from like school age into work, it can be quite daunting, but we will, buddy you up so you've got someone with you the whole step of the way. You'll also have a coach or tutor that will, from the training provider, that will support you through to do your coursework and any tests that you need. And it's a big chance to learn and develop your skills, with our managers obviously understanding your development needs. And also I think it's really good, you get really good benefits like receiving travel or discounts through student stuff as well. Next slide. So like I said, so you can be 16 or over to apply. Generally you need A to C GCSEs, but it's not required. So if you don't get your English and maths, that is something that you can do while you're doing your apprenticeship. So don't rule yourself out if you don't get those grades. With level 2 and level 3 apprenticeships, you can still do those, and you can still apply while you're in school. And why an apprenticeship? So like I've said, obtaining new skills. There's over 250 types that cover over 1,200 job roles, which I think it's got really big. There's a lot of jobs now that do apprenticeships, a lot of workplaces, so it's good to get on the internet, have a look at companies you might like, and see if they do apprenticeships. We have ranges from, Christina covered it earlier, but we've got from administration to customer services, digital. We have management trainees, absolutely, everything really. And like I've said before, no costs involved, absolutely free. So which I think is really, really important. When you go to college or go to get a degree, it's going to obviously cost a lot to do that. This will involve not having any debt, which I think is really, really important. So the apprenticeship levels, so a level 2 normally lasts for about 12 to 18 months. Mine was a year when I done mine, and it's equivalent to 5 GCSEs. Our advanced apprenticeships, the level 3, are around 18 to 48 months long and are equivalent to 2 A levels. And then when you look at the higher degree apprenticeships, levels like 4, 5, and 6 and 7, they are the longer 24 months, and they're equivalent to a foundation degree level. And the 6 and 7 are bachelor's and master's degrees levels.
Thank you, Jamie. And I'll talk a little bit about the trade and the business admin level 2 and level 3. So as Jamie said, you can start an apprenticeship from the age of 16. Our roles went live yesterday, level 2 and level 3 apprenticeships. The trade roles are currently on the government website. They will be uploaded to our site as well, hopefully later this week. But we've got lots of different roles. These are some of the roles that we've got. We've got in the level 2 roles, bricklaying, carpentry, customer services. And then the level 3 roles, we've got like building services engineering, business admin, digital engineering technician, and so on. So lots of different roles across our business. I think we're going to take on about 50 apprentices come September. Or during August time, they'll actually start. So yeah, the roles went live yesterday, and they will be live until we'll be recruiting by the end of April on that. And this is our process. Now, you'll find that this process will probably be quite similar to a lot of other organizations. They might tweak it a little bit. So basically, you go on our website, and I will give you the links to the website. You have to apply online for the role. It goes to an organization that we work with called Recruit, or it'll go to a college directly. They will shortlist after checking and screening all the qualifications and everything needed for that particular apprenticeship. And then once they've done that, the CVs will then be sent through to the hiring manager for each contract, wherever they've requested an apprentice. And then the potential candidate will then get an interview with the hiring manager, and then the candidate will be notified if they've been successful or not. And we will touch a little bit later on about what we would expect candidates to do in advance of applying for a role with us. These are the timescales. So the roles went live, as I said, yesterday, and they'll be open until the end of April. Then the end of April up to June, interviews and offers will be made, and then they will start around the 15th of August. So if anyone's finishing up, in May or June time, it's quite a good opportunity then to go straight into an apprenticeship if that's what somebody wants, particularly a school leaver. And then the college course for that apprenticeship. So you'll go to college 1 day a week, and you'll do your work, obviously experience, getting paid for that for the other 4 days. And that's our new sort of time scales from this year. We've changed it slightly. We used to have 2 intakes a year. We now have 1. So yeah. And then we've also got the graduate and higher level apprenticeships, which Jamie just touched upon. For these roles, so the graduates is a 2-year scheme, and the higher in degree, it's a 3-year scheme. So obviously you get on the job experience. These roles here are really fantastic, because what happens is you get lots of different experience, technical experience. So you move around the business. So you might be in commercial, you might be in IT, you might be in other departments here at Wates. So you get a flavour about the different departments and the different roles. So what happens then, you then obviously, all of our apprentices, whether you're high level or level 2 or level 3, you will always be supported and mentored by a line manager or another allocated person. That's really, really important to us. And what's also important to us is that we have our apprentices come out and do talks in schools, come to career fairs, and do lots of other sort of engagement activities, because it's really important for them, for their confidence, to be delivering presentations, and for the young people to hear from some of our young apprentices as well, because they will be more relatable than sometimes the likes of me. So I think that's really, really important to develop them that way. And then obviously the placements I've just spoken about, that they are placed across different parts of the business. And then at the end of, or just coming up to the end of their 2 years, there's always a promotion gateway. So they'll start as an apprentice, and then they might move into like assistant quantity surveyor, for example, and then they can still study further. And that is always discussed with the line manager in terms of where they want to progress to. So always room for improvement, and not improvement, sorry, for promotion here at Wates, and that's really, really clear. So definitely recommend that. And then the higher level degree apprenticeship. So this is the recruitment process for this. You apply online. It's done via People Scout. They shortlist. And then what happens is, for those people who've been shortlisted, they're then sent a link with a pre-recorded sort of details in terms of recording their interview. So they'll be given a link, and then they'll have to answer some questions via a video link. And then successful for that, they'll do the assessment centre. Now, I have spent all day today in an assessment centre assessing potential candidates for the next round, where they will start in August with us. It's quite a number of exercises. So when we talk a little bit about what we're looking for, really, really important, if anybody on the call or family members are interested, please listen to some of the advice that we're giving you, because that is really, really crucial in that assessment centre. Then once they're all assessed, the candidate is then notified if they've been successful or not. And then we've got a little timeline here about the recruitment process. So we opened the application window in October last year. We extended the applications through to January. So we were accepting applications in January. They were then given their video interviews. Assessment centres are taking place as we speak. And once they're all being offered roles, there's then a networking event to invite them all together, and where they'll be starting then in August, and college and that in September. So got a really clear plan there around the timescales.
So, and really, really important, obviously, when we're discussing apprenticeships and working, is the rates of pay. So just to give you a brief sort of overview, for level 2 and level 3 apprentices, the average salary is around 13,000, but it can be higher. The rate is advertised on the apprenticeship summary for each role on the National Apprenticeship site. And as you can see, from like management trainees, school or college leaver, it will be ranging from 20,500 to graduate 25,500, and obviously that does go up as well. And this also could go up depending, you know, where you live, whether it's London. Yeah. Next slide. Application tips and hints. So I think it's really important to touch on that we're not always looking for the most intelligent person, or, you know, the best grades or anything like that. We're really, really big on behaviours. And, you know, it's really important, you know, our behaviours are: we care, we are fair, and looking for a better way to do things. So it's really, really, you know, important to have a look at that, you know, or any sort of company that you're going for, is to go on their website and have a look, do some research. Research is absolutely key, because it shows, you know, that you're committed, you know, to that company. And it's also a really good way for you to look at, you know, companies' sort of ideals, and see what they're about as well, and, you know, thinking if it matches up with yourself. And obviously, when you're doing an application, make sure that you're giving clear and concise information. You know, think about your answers carefully and put effort into what you write. You know, online applications aren't designed to be done really, really quickly. You know, and focus on your strengths and successes so far. And, you know, really, really shout about those. And I think, you know, you just need to be really confident in what you're doing. Say, you know, the video interviews, I think we look at that. We look at your behaviours in that, especially when, you know, you come to the interviews. We want to see, you know, that you're absolutely committed, you know, to working with us, you know, getting your qualification, you know, and, you know, getting yourself promoted and stuff like that. So yeah, going into an interview, it will require the right attitude.
Thank you, Jamie. And I think obviously we're talking about apprenticeships tonight, because obviously uni isn't for everyone. And I think parents and young people, I think, need to have that sort of opportunity to weigh up both of them, because in my time, if I knew I was going to get an apprenticeship and get paid at the same time and get the same qualification, then you know, I would have jumped at the opportunity, particularly you know, the higher the degree ones, because you'll come out, it might take you a little bit longer, but you come out with the same degree that you would get if you went to university. And obviously you won't have a student debt at the end of that. You will be, you know, you've got that work experience, you've got the job, and you've got your qualification on top of that as well. So we are really, you know, good advocates for, you know, promoting apprenticeships. But I think everybody needs to have, you know, all the information so that you can make that informed choice, you know, and particularly for young people, where, you know, at a particular age, you don't really know what you want to be doing. And it's just laying everything out on the table and just saying, you know, these are the options. So if, you know, if you've got access to a smartphone, if you scan here, it will take you straight into all of our opportunities. And I will pass the slides on to Christina if you want to share them at the end of our presentation. And I've also put a link in here, access on all other apprenticeships. So if you go onto the government website, it will list all the different apprenticeships in the different roles, not just construction. You can go straight into here, and you can have a look for yourself. And as Jamie said earlier, there is a role for, there's a apprenticeship role in nearly everything now. So just take a look at that. And happy to take any questions. This is where all of our opportunities and our early careers. It also gives you details about work experience. And if you are interested, or any family members or friends are interested in a degree apprenticeship, you can register your interest, and you just complete a short form, and any details will be shared with you when the roles are advertised again. So thank you for listening to us, and happy to take any questions.
I also just want to touch on work experience as well. Really, really important. If you don't really want to, try that apprenticeship route out, first of all, work experience is a really good thing to build up your CV, and also to give you an insight into companies. So I think I can put our work experience email in the chat. So if you are interested in coming to see what we do, definitely take that up and email in. It's really good, like I said, for your CVs and to get a good idea of the companies you want to work for.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, guys. That was really great. And I just want to say thank you to Christina and her team, because she's so supportive of the school and regularly attends events and things. So thank you very much for this evening and for all your support. Thank you everyone who has attended this evening. If you do have any questions, I think you can pop them in the chat. I noticed Jamie has just popped in the work experience email in there, but I can certainly send that around. I'll also send this recording and any slides Christina sends me. I can send those out as well. So just have another quick look in the chat. I don't think there is anything at the moment. If anyone does have any questions, they can or they think of anything later, they can always drop me an email and I can check with Christina or Jamie as well.
Yeah, like you said, we're happy to take any questions now. So now is your opportunity. Or is everyone shy? Everybody wants their dinner now, right?
So I think someone's just popped in the chat, when can I apply for an apprenticeship? So am I right in thinking the window is still open?
The window is just opened. It opened yesterday. So you can apply. You can apply straight away. Obviously, it depends on which one you're looking for. The trade ones are not currently on our website. However, they will be on there, but they are registered on the government website. But I can honestly say Wates is a really, really great place to work. Staff are really developed. You've got that promotion gateway. You get lots of support. We don't expect anybody to come to interviews, even whether it's the degree level or the level 2 and level 3. We don't expect people to come into the interviews with knowing everything about construction. Obviously, we like to see that you've researched the company. So obviously, if it's not Wates you're applying for, always research the company. But like I said, it is a really, really good place to work. We also support staff. Every staff gets 2 days per annum to volunteer out in the community, and we give everyone that opportunity. So whether it's clearing a garden or working in a